Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Um, as a Christian, life is not all a bed of roses, as they say. We have our challenges as Christians, and a lot of the reason we have challenges is because we have an enemy who doesn't want us to live a happy, successful, fruitful Christian life. And we sometimes, Christians, are a bit naive. We don't realise how much we can be under attack and how much strife we can get in, particularly in the areas of, it's called satanic accusation and satanic oppression. I've spoken about that on my YouTube channel before, I think. I should do some more about it. Anyway, one of the Christian teachers and counsellors I've become familiar with over the many years, and I've found very helpful in this whole area, is Neil T. Anderson. Neil Anderson is retired now, but he founded Freedom in Christ International, and it's been a very fruitful ministry for many Christians over the years. I first discovered his ministry because I used to go to a Christian bookshop just about at least once a week when I worked in the city in Adelaide, and one of the first books I come across his was called Discipleship Counselling, which is really good, the complete guide to helping others walk in freedom and grow in Christ. And I've found that a very good process. Neil came up with a program where you can actually go through with some other Christian counsellors who've been trained in his methods with a questionnaire and a process of helping people get free from all the things that are bugging them, and it's very good. So that's how I got introduced to his work, and then I've collected a steady stream of his books since. I don't think there's too many new ones coming out now that he's retired, but one of the best things that I got hold of was these two video sets. They came out on VHS cassette originally, but these are DVDs, and they are really good they're very good sessions on Christian growth and being set free. Victory over the darkness is this one. I'll read from the back. Jesus promises that you can live triumphantly, but what keeps you from really walking in the joy of the Lord? The powers of darkness attack us daily. But as Dr. Neil Anderson shows in Victory Over the Darkness, you can have the power to conquer them by knowing who you are in Christ. Victory Over the Darkness is part 1 of Neil Anderson's basic training seminar. These 8 messages explore resolving personal conflicts through discovering one's identity in Christ, embracing the ministry of reconciliation, experiencing emotional freedom, and more. This interactive DVD package includes a printable PDF viewing guide with questions for discussion to be used individually or in groups, an ideal resource for pastors, counsellors, and lay leaders for helping Christians mature and gain Christ-centered victory. I'd highly recommend that one to you, and also this one called The Bondage Breaker, which is 12 powerful sessions to true freedom in Christ. And then there's a lot of other books. This is an important one. Getting anger under control. A lot of us have trouble with anger, fly off the handle fairly quickly when we know as Christians we shouldn't. Release from bondage. This is people's personal testimonies. And this is true stories of freedom from obsessive thoughts, compulsive behaviours, guilt and hurtful memories, satanic ritual abuse, childhood abuse, and demonic strongholds. That's pretty heavy, isn't it? I'm just going to read a little bit from the introduction by Neil Anderson on what this book, Release from Bondage, is all about. And the introduction says, setting captives free. Where are the hurting? What is their hope? I'll just read some of this because it'll set the tone for what Neil's ministry is about. He says, when I graduated from seminary, I was looking forward to being the captain of a gospel ship. We would sail off into the eternal sunset, rescuing people from the watery abyss. We would have Bible classes, clubs for the kiddies, and sports for the athletically inclined, for the purpose of outreach, of course. Everybody would love one another. Off I sailed on my first assignment, and it wasn't long before I noticed a dark ship sailing alongside. On that ship were people with all kinds of problems. They were struggling with alcohol, sex, drugs, and abuse of every conceivable kind. I suddenly realized that I was on the wrong ship. God had called me to be the captain of the dark ship. Through a series of life-transforming events, I ended up being that captain, and to my surprise, I found out it was the same ship. The needy are not only out there somewhere, our churches are filled with hurting people wearing masks, frightened that someone might find out what's really going on inside of them. They would love nothing more than to have some hope, affirmation, and help. This book is about being released from that kind of bondage. You will read actual accounts of courageous people who have agreed to tell their stories from their perspective. They were already committed evangelical Christians before our encounter together. Some were in full-time ministry. Their names, occupations, and geographical references have been changed to protect their identity. I assure you that what they share is true, and they in no way represent a few isolated cases. We have hundreds of similar stories from personal counselling and thousands that could be shared from conferences. What's at stake isn't my reputation or transient ministry, but the integrity of the church and countless millions who are counting on the church to take its rightful place in God's kingdom program of setting captives free. I hope you will find great personal help in reading these pages, but beyond that, it is my earnest prayer that you will gain insights which will enable you to become a part of the captive freeing movement of God, which is beginning to grow in the church. But there's a lot of his books he's got. I've got some more over there, and Freedom from Fear, Victory Over the Darkness, The Steps to Freedom. The Core of Christianity is one of his good ones, which goes back to what the basics of Christianity is all about, sidestepping a lot of the denominational issues that we all seem to have trouble with each other with, and getting back to what the basic teachings are. So thanks for watching. There's a lot of Neil's videos and interviews with him on YouTube, so I'd suggest you look him up. And thanks for watching, and God bless you, and I hope you're going okay at the moment. But just be aware that you can get better if you're not, if you're a Christian. If you're not a Christian, it's time you decided to have a look at what it means to be a Christian and how you can be set free from the things that are really bugging you. I'll see you in the next video. See you later.